Howdy there, y'all. Today is July 6th, and I wanted to kind of give myself an idea later on in the year what all was blooming at this particular point in time this year. So our Belindas Dream rose had its big flush, and I thought it was done, but it's actually put off a few roses here and there. In fact, I see one there at the very back that's finishing up, maybe a couple there, but I love that rose. Our Gladiolus that has been here for a long time, the maroon one, finished up probably a couple of months ago, and then I just threw some more in the ground, and we had some yellow Gladiolus blooming a little bit ago. I also planted my moringa trees from my parents. That's not flowers, but it's a cool thing. We still have Texas dandelions, but we'll have that throughout the year. Winnie says she wants to go in, so I'll let her in. Our 4 o'clocks are blooming now, but of course they don't bloom until the evening time, so right now they're closed. But I can still smell them a little. The cannas are blooming. The Rose of Sharon, the lavender one, has been blooming for I think a couple of weeks. And I noticed a couple days ago that we have blooms on our pink ones, so they should be sending out their flowers, opening up here shortly. Our what we have left of our thornless or spineless cactus actually bloomed a few weeks ago, so I was super excited about that they are still hanging on. They're trying hard. This particular salvia greggii, I believe it's called Hot Lips. It has been blooming for a while. At the first we had each flower would be both red and white, but now we're starting to get separation where it's red flowers and white flowers. I've been told that that has to do with the heat in the hot. I just noticed something, y'all. Anyway, in the heat, the flowers, I believe, start turning into separate colors, but whenever it's nice conditions like in the spring and the fall, it actually will have both colors on the same flower. So this is exciting because that's some seed that I planted here and I completely forgot I planted it. So we have, I think that's like a teddy bear sunflower growing back here at the back of the house. Awesome! And then these are the wild sunflowers. The flowers themselves may not necessarily be impressive, but I think they're pretty cool. And look how much they take up here in the garden. They take a whole corner of the garden. And what I'm liking is they're creating a microclimate for those green beans that are down there. They give a little bit of shade so those green beans don't get that full hot sun. And then the other thing I love about those is I do not have to do anything at all for them. They do great even whenever it's super, super hot and dry for almost a month at a time. And yes, we have had that quite a bit this year. June was a pretty hot month for us. We had rain at the very beginning and at the very end, and that was pretty much it. We also have these flowers that take no care whatsoever, and these are the clasping leaf coneflower. They are relatives of echinacea and black-eyed Susans, so we enjoy these because we get to have some medicinal properties that we can glean from them whenever we harvest them. I was actually thinking about deadheading them because they were not looking too happy. These flowers have been blooming for a while, but I did notice when I tried to do this video the first time a little while ago, there are some pollinators that are still coming and gathering the pollen. So I'm going to wait a little bit and see what happens. Oh, and that butterfly just flew off. Let's see if we can get it. See what happens. Maybe I'll cut them back in about a week or so. That way they can just kind of refresh, regather, because they start to get dried out and really droopy. Of course, it doesn't help when the dog comes and knocks that one over, like that particular plant had happened to it. But just so that we can get a really good, vibrant flush of flowers again in a little while. Our basil has also been blooming. This is the Tulsi or sacred basil, and it puts off a purple flower. And then we have our sweet basil that puts off a white flower. I've been trying to cut that back, but yeah, it's hard to keep up with. In fact, that one's the one that I cut all the blooms off to do that basil vinegar, which I'll try to link in the cards above. And then the chamomile has pretty much, I think, finished. I'm thinking about deadheading it to see if it will come back in the fall. I'm thinking maybe right now it's just too lanky, and if I leave it the way it is, it's probably going to die out. But who knows? Here in Texas, the spring may be all the chamomile can really handle. And then a few days ago, I noticed our bee balm is blooming. This particular stand is about 3 years old, and I love how it is spreading out, and the bumblebees are just going to town on it today. Where'd you go? Oh, there you go. So that's tons of fun. That's also a medicinal and an edible, and as you can see, an attractant to pollinators. So we love those kind of plants. The Vitex tree or chase tree is pretty much done with the first bloom. There's a few blooms here at the base of it that are kind of like holding on, but it's pretty much done for the spring. But we should get another flush of blooms in the fall. So we're not done with that one this year, but it says it's done for now. It's going to wait probably 2 or 3 months before we get to enjoy that frenzy that happened. If you had a chance to see it, great. If not, I'll try to link it in the cards above. But honeybees, bumblebees, butterflies, they were all just going crazy over this particular plant. All right, y'all. God bless, and we'll see you